All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua Bashem, Kakwadash. I'm Tazayar Gabar from Prophets in Babylon, Waco, Texas, under the branch of the Prophets in Babylon, Tampa Bay, Florida camp. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation on down to hopefully elect. So, I saw this video from GMS Wine. The brother did a video on this little clip, and I looked it up and pulled it up. But basically, Drake, which this is kind of spiritual, because he started doing that Gadite dance, that Gad be doing at their powwows. But this is a Drake performance. You see the Chariots, and then you see nuclear missiles in the background, and this reminds me of 2020, that Foot Locker commercial where it showed all those Israelites. it had the baby in it or whatever, and it had the chariots, and people was getting beamed up, which shows you that these celebs know, and ultimately these elites know, that the scriptures is real, because this is a biblical prophecy. This dude performing, and that's our deliverance up out of here. And then the nukes falling. This is prophecy. Alright. I'll get that and start with Revelation 9. Revelation 9:16, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them, 200,000. That's 200 million nuclear missiles that's going to fall, hit ground zero in America, and by way of World War III, And thus I saw the horses. The horses is representing the nuclear missiles. That's how John the Revelator described the missiles as horses. Kind of like when a horse takes off on a racetrack, it leaves that trail of smoke behind it. Because 2,000 years ago, they didn't know what they were seeing, so they had to describe it to something they could. They had to describe it the best way they could. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and of jasnet and brimstone. And the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issue fire and smoke and brimstone. Alright. So when those nukes, when they get shot out of them silos, they're gonna be shooting out sparks. Alright. And when they hit ground zero, that's gonna cause that effect. Alright. By these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issue out of their mouths. Alright. This is second Esdras. Let me see, 13. Alright. Second Esdras 13:3. This is when Yahweh Shah come back on those chariots. Now, those chariots are also going to bring forth destruction as the missiles are falling. So as the missiles are coming down, that's when those chariots are going to come and beam up the remnant that's meant to get delivered up out here, which is the elect and 1/3. All this is going to be happening at the same time, which is why this video is spiritual, because they literally know the Bible. And I beheld, and lo, a man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. That's the angels and the chariots. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. Out of his mouth is going into those laser beams from those chariots, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. Alright, I'm gonna get that look up. Ooh, spelled it wrong. No. Look up for your salvation. It's like it. I was typing with one finger. Luke, I know it's Luke 21. Here it is, Luke 21 and 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So this is our salvation up out of here, these chariots. And I just did a video about an hour ago about how 2/3 are not going to make it out. You know why? Because they are going to get 2/3 of our people, including Drake. They ain't going to make it up out of this. And this is hella spiritual. This is how it's going to be. You know? Because they didn't want to get right ultimately. So while the elect, whoever those men are, which we know they're the prophets, when this time comes, you know, only the elect and the 1/3 will make it up out of here by getting beamed up inside of those chariots. And those chariots are also going to be shooting out beams, what I just read in 2nd Ezra, out of his mouth. Let me see, 2nd Ezra, going back to it, 13th chapter. Well, this is the time of World War III, and Yahweh Shah made his return on the earth with the chariots. And as the nukes are going down, you know, you'll have the elect getting beamed up. And also right here, and I beheld, and lo, a man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were under him. So when these nations see Yahweh Shah, they're going to be trembling. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, let's talk about out of those motherships, the chariots, all they burned that heard his voice. And that's them beams, you know, laser beams of the chariots. All right, so all of this is linking up. No, the chariots are going to be used as salvation and also destruction at the same, you know, the same time as the nukes are falling. All right. So these elites and celebrity rappers, entertainers, they know what's going to come. All right. And ultimately, that's going to be the judgment for those who took the C-hip, you know. All right. But, you know, just keeping it short and simple. Lord willing, this was an edifying video. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Alright? The so-called UFOs are biblically known as the chariots of the Lord. You know, which the angels will be in those vehicles maneuvering around. But I'm the brother Taziar Gabar from Prophets in Babylon, Waco, Texas, under the branch of the Prophets in Babylon, Tampa Bay, Florida camp. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation on down to the hopefully elect. Close out saying Shalom, Abab, Abal soon.